Unatazama Sound Candy Talk. Toa sauti yako usikike.
Thanks so much for the guidance. We'll have a bit of change on the program. Most of the ministers are not in here, so I'll have the honor to welcome the Honorable Minister from the Republic of Rwanda, who will speak on behalf of the Council of Ministers. Most welcome, Honorable. Thank you.
Honorable Ministers, Cabinet Secretaries, Honorable Secretary General of the East African Community, Honorable Speaker of the Yara, Honorable Speakers, the Special Envoy of the UN Secretary General of the Great Lakes Region, our former Secretary Generals, Honorable Ambassadors and High Commissioners, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all of you as we celebrate the Jubilee, the Silver Jubilee of the East African Community, and to reflect on the future of our community. I sincerely welcome all of you on behalf of the chairperson of the Council of Ministers. This milestone highlights the resilience, the vision, and the commitment of partner states and stakeholders to regional integration. Over the past 25 years, the East African community has expanded from 3 founding members to 8 partner states, an affirmation of the appeal of regional cooperation. However, this growth necessitates adjustments to ensure tangible benefits for all members. Significant progress has indeed been made in implementing the customs union and common market protocols, cementing the East African community's position as a leading economic bloc in Africa. Yet, intra-EAC trade remains low, underscoring the need to enhance collaboration and deepen integration. Challenges like non-tariff barriers, trade restrictions, and the absence of unified mechanisms to address external shocks are within our control and must be addressed. Dismantling these barriers will foster a more conducive business environment and unlock the region's full potential. This high-level event provides a vital platform for public and private actors to identify bottlenecks and propose actionable policy recommendations to enhance the EAC efficiency. Let me end my remarks by affirming Rwanda's unwavering commitment to the EAC integration agenda and the prosperity of our region. Together, we can build a more integrated, resilient, and prosperous East Africa. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for the statement for the Council of EAC Ministers. At this point, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'll invite Mr. Philip Wambugo to take us through the next stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ministers, let me write on the protocols that have already been read out in this meeting. And therefore, in the interest of time, I go straight into the next session, which is actually setting the stage. Thank you very much. I was being guided that there will be a slot for honorable ministers to comment on the discussions after the presentation of the keynote address. I think I've been introduced. My name is Philip Wambugo, and I'm a consultant here at the EAC on a project called Capacity Development. I was here before that as the Director for Infrastructure. Honorable Ministers, allow me to, first of all, introduce our keynote address speaker, Honorable Nue Amanya Muchega. I'll just say very, very few in terms of introduction so that we save time for discussions. Honorable Nue Muchega is a distinguished statesman, lawyer, and seasoned public servant with an illustrious career that spans decades of impactful leadership. A stalwart of East African regional integration, Honorable Muchega played a pivotal role on the revival and consolidation of the East African community, serving as its second Secretary General from 2001 to 2006. He's going to talk about generally the reflections on the past 25 years. Then he will be looking at the opportunities and the challenges, and eventually conclude with the future aspirations and strategies towards the deepening of the integration to attain the EAC Vision 2050. Please, let's put our hands together and welcome Honorable Amanya Muchega. Can we get some help? There's some technical.
Thank you very much for your exaggerated comments. the chairperson of the Council of Ministers, honorable ministers responsible for East African affairs, honorable ministers from member states, our host, our colleague, the Secretary General of the ASC and your deputies, the Speaker of Yara, distinguished delegates, former colleagues, the Secretary General of the community, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of my colleagues, the former Secretary General, would like to thank you, the current Secretary General, for your kind invitation to collect us together. I think for the first time, that's why I've seen my predecessor, he used to come in my time, and the others all together at the same time. So never joke with the soft power of women. Secondly, I personally would like to put on record my thanks and gratitude to Ambassador Musawura, the person I took over from. The first time I met him was when he was handing over to me. Afterwards, he became my guide and a mentor. Whenever I had issues, I would contact him, both in Nairobi, even when he was too busy as head of civil service and PS the office of the president. He would spare time to advise me and occasionally take me to lunch, both at his home and in town. I'm most grateful to you. I wonder how I would have performed the little I did if you are not being around. I would like to be recorded that you did immense work to me. Even when I left being Secretary General, once in a while, whenever I'm in Nairobi, I look him up. Thank you so much. Thirdly, I would like to apologize in advance. I was invited to give a keynote address. I don't understand what keynote means. So in a case you're expecting a keynote address, I apologize that you will be disappointed. I'm going to give my comments as an East African and former Secretary General, my observations, and what I think are considered recommendations. That's what I will do. The keynote address, I don't understand it. I try to understand what it means, but here I am. My apologies, those of you expecting a keynote address. Just listen to my few comments, which I may agree at times and don't agree with yours, because our experiences are not exactly the same. The East African community was first formed in 1967. Of course, it had the history, pre-colonial history and before 67. Unfortunately, it collapsed 10 years later. It collapsed. And as I walked in here, it reminded me of the typical African entrepreneur. When the person dies, occasionally, the children quickly participate in division, dividing the property and sharing things among themselves. This was the headquarters of the former East African community. As soon as the community collapsed, the children of the community rushed and shared everything. This is the second thing to resurrect after Jesus. So unfortunately, the old community resurrected, but when it came back, it found all the properties had been shared out. It started renting what formerly was its own. I hope this community does not follow suit. It was revived again, of course, in my statement, it mentions it has expanded from the 3 members then. It has transcended linguistic and colonial distinctions, admitting other members. When Rwanda was negotiating to join the community, I was then in charge. And I met one of the ministers of the European Union, who was arguing that we are interfering with their affairs because they had their community of Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo. That's what he meant. And then I told him, don't worry, because Burundi is all joining. Then he told me, but you don't understand. And then I told him, I fully understand your concern. He said, no, no, it's not what I mean. So behind the scenes, there are those who would like us to integrate. And within, before the scenes, they are supporting us. So we have now transcended the colonial boundaries, the way we are divided, and they're in these boundaries as if people in our country is actually Francophone, Anglophone, Russophone. The majority actually are Locophone, but we use them as our official languages. The new community is promoting, trying to achieve the very things we had before and deeper. Some of us who had just tested a bit of them will recall with nostalgia the common airspace whereby flights within East Africa were regarded as local. You could get on a plane in Entebbe to Nairobi to Dar es Salaam or vice versa without your stamp being, with no passport, by the way, except some identity card. So I was shocked as Secretary General. Before you move in Dar es Salaam to Kampala, your passport will be stamped not less than 3 times. Where I used to cross as a student to University of Dar es Salaam and those from Dar es Salaam to Makerere and vice versa. What a scenario. The harbors we had, post and telecommunications, a vibrant research institutions, a common syllabus, and exams. There was no need for passports to move from one country to another. It collapsed within 10 years. It was so attractive that By the time it collapsed, Zambia was about to join, Somalia, Ethiopia, Sudan, Burundi were knocking, and it was hard time